Yeah, the guy feeding ICE location to rioters has a history of harassing people and violating boundaries. Shocking. Welcome to another episode of Facts Over Feelings, brought to you by SupportOurShields, where we reject the spin and speak the truth. And today we're calling out Jack Quillin, the man behind the X account LAScanner, who recently got exposed for doxing federal ICE agents in real time during active operations. So let's get this straight. This guy wasn't some local crime reporter. He was actively tipping off protesters, posting names, locations, and even photos of agents working immigration raids in LA. That's not community awareness. That's endangerment. And that's targeting law enforcement. And here's the kicker. Quillin is a convicted felon and a stalker. Yeah. The guy feeding ICE location to rioters has a history of harassing people and violating boundaries. Shocking. But suddenly, he wants to be seen as some kind of whistleblowing folk hero for the wokeites.
You can see, the more you fuck around, the more you're going to find out. The more you fuck around, the more you find out.
Give me a break. After getting outed himself, poetic justice, he deactivates his account and says he's going to turn himself in. So now you're sorry. Because you got caught. You endangered the lives and now you're hoping for a clean exit. That's what it looks like to me. If this doesn't come from central casting of weirdo, I don't know what else does.
U.S. Secret Service confirmed visiting a Southside school as part of an investigation into a threat. Initially, Chicago Public Schools, or CPS, reported that the agents were from the U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement, or ICE, but ICE denied involvement. The Secret Service agent said that
this guy was doxing law enforcement officers, and then he got doxed. And now he's learned his lesson. But as one example, he somehow found out about a hotel where some ICE agents were allegedly staying, and he posted the hotel with the exact address. And he was also posting home addresses and so on and so on. Why was he doing this? Well, obviously he was hoping that violent mobs would show up where these people were living and sleeping and accost or assault them. I mean, why else would you post that information? There's no other reason to post it.
You know, police officers, whether they're local, state, or federal, have good reasons to protect their personal information. Without privacy protection, they and their families are at risk of being harmed, intimidated, and harassed. And there is no legit reason for any officer's home address or other sensitive information to ever be made public. Period. And reasonable people understand all of this. But like Paula Fitzsimmons of For the Blue wrote, unfortunately, we live at a point in time when reason has become obsolete in some corners. Calls for unmasking officers come at a time when the Department of Homeland Security is reporting a 413% increase in assaults on U.S. immigration and custom enforcement officers. And this is why Senate Bill 1952 is so important. Protecting law enforcement from doxing is a federal bill that would make it a crime to publish the name of any federal police officer when the intent is to obstruct an immigration operation or criminal investigation. This needs to be passed, and those who violate it need to be punished to the fullest extent of the law. Because here's what we have to understand. Quillin the coward isn't alone. There's a lot of lefticals that will try to fill his sorry shoes if they think they can get away with it.
As ICE agents have seen over the past couple of months, a 413% increase in assaults. I will tell you, I think that our law enforcement officers, our Homeland Security Investigators and our agents deserve our support for removing criminal illegal aliens from our community. And following the dangerous actions of our Nashville Mayor O'Connell and his office, I'm also introducing legislation that will make it illegal to dox federal law enforcement officials who are working to get these criminal illegal aliens off the streets.
So Senator Marsha Blackburn, this mic drop goes to you for introducing this bill, which is so timely for the climate of chaos that has been caused by the DNC and their Marxist allies. Thank you for continuing to be a fighter for God-fearing, freedom-loving Americans. And thank you for standing up and exposing the swamp creatures who are trying to destroy this country from the inside.
These are elected officials who are siding with and protecting criminal illegal aliens, people that have committed robberies and murder and rape and assault. They are choosing them over law-abiding citizens.
Want more proof? The mayor of Nashville, whose office published the names and the enforcement activities of ICE and Homeland Security investigation agents who had arrested 200 illegal immigrants recently in Tennessee. This isn't activism. This is lawlessness. It's reckless. It's criminal, and it's exactly what happens when woke mobs think that they're above the law. ICE agents are wearing masks for their protection, and that's how serious this has gotten. In Quillin, this fool was playing internet vigilante for likes. But it's clowns like him that couldn't walk a minute in the shoes of the men and women's lives he was trying to put at risk. And let this be a warning to every clout-chasing coward who thinks that doxing law enforcement is brave. It's not. It's treasonous behavior dressed up as virtue signaling. And this is facts over feelings always. And Jack, we hope you enjoy that federal court date you got coming real soon. So that's a wrap for this edition of Facts Over Feelings, brought to you by SupportOurShields. If you've been redeemed by the King of Kings, and if you love this country and the freedom that it brings, then I'm your brother, no matter your color. Remember this, life isn't fair, but God is just. Be blessed.